Okay, roll up, roll up. We have got some left-wing meltdowns for you today inside Parliament following the statement of the new asylum reforms. Now, as I stated in previous video, it's definitely not perfect, but it's a right step in the right direction. A long way to go, and more reforms need to be done, but it's a right step in the right direction. But despite this, small little baby step into securing our borders, the Liberals within inside the House of Commons go into meltdown. They genuinely do. We've got a Green Party member squaring up to Shabana Mahmood. We've got freaking Labour MPs turning on their own ministers. And my goodness me, Jeremy Corbyn, he came out with the sort of cobwebs as well. He's an absolute disgrace and an absolute traitor. But we're just going to feast our eyes. Yes, I'm a sad man and I like to see Liberal tears. And what? I enjoy it. I can't wait until a right-wing government comes into power and these decisions are pushed through. It's going to be glorious, absolutely glorious to see these Muppets crying every single week. But either way, guys, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, sit back and relax and enjoy the tears. You've seen the state of this country, now wear the message. Wankir, Stuck Farmer, Liber. Shop the full collection by going down into the link in the description or heading over to britishstand.com.
Madam Deputy Speaker, it isn't people seeking sanctuary that are tearing our country apart. It's toxic, racist narratives and the scapegoating of migrants and asylum seekers for what is nothing to do with them. The chronic housing crisis, the running down of public services are not caused by migrants. They are caused by political decisions and by the grotesque inequality in this country. Does the Secretary of State understand that attempting to out-reform reform is actually just boosting this baseless far-right narrative and will only deepen divisions when we urgently need leadership and hope instead?
Let me tell her, I couldn't care less what any other political party has to say about these matters. I don't care what other politicians are saying on the television. I don't care what other activists are saying either. I care about the fact that I have an important job to do and I can see that there is a problem here that needs to be fixed. If it was possible to pretend there wasn't a problem because there wasn't one, I wouldn't be saying there is one. There is a genuine problem in this asylum system and we need someone to sort it out, not to pretend it doesn't exist, which I'm afraid is one of the things that fuels the division in the first place. My own constituents, since I have been Home Secretary, have been telling me directly of abuses in the visa system that they can see with the evidence of their own eyes long before any officials in Whitehall have ever clocked onto those things. It is a moral responsibility when you see something broken to fix it and to make sure that the fact that it's broken is not fueling division in our country. And let me also say to her, it is Green Party politicians who are absolute hypocrites because they talk great language in here and then oppose asylum accommodation in their own constituencies.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Nowhere in the Home Secretary's statement does she put this into any kind of global context about the millions of people that have become refugees or homeless all around the world, and that more than two-thirds of those are housed by the southern countries, the poorest countries in the world, with the least resources possible to do it. And what she's doing instead is putting in draconian measures against refugees trying to come to this country, failing to recognise that more than 6,000, for example, of those that crossed the Channel this year come from Afghanistan, a war-torn country that we helped to make into a war-torn country. And she instead is trying to appease the most ghastly right-wing racist forces all across Europe in undermining and walking away from the European Convention on Human Rights, a convention created by the post-war Labour government. Does she not recognise history is going to be a harsh judge on this government for undermining the whole global humanitarian principles behind the ECHR and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights?
Home Secretary.
Well, not for the first time. I'm a little mystified as to what the Honourable Gentleman is talking about. He starts with the global context. I guess my start point is different to his because I start with our domestic context first. He ought to know that in this country there have already been bespoke schemes for the resettlement of people from Afghanistan. So perhaps he could, read up on those schemes. He should also have heard from what I said in my statement that we remain absolutely committed to offering sanctuary to those who are fleeing conflict abroad. We think that the best way to do that is not to encourage people to get on a boat in the Channel by paying thousands and thousands of pounds to people smugglers, who, by the way, it's not just smuggling that's a vile crime. Those individuals are involved in all sorts of other disgusting organised crime. They should not be in receipt of money from vulnerable people. I want to disincentivise people making that choice, and I want to incentivise people coming on safe and legal routes instead. And if he would actually read the asylum policy statement, he would know it's the policy position of this government to provide more safe and legal routes. Once he's done more reading, I'll be happy to answer more of his questions.
Richard Bergen.
Thank you.
Richard Bergen.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I do remember when the Prime Minister pledged an immigration system based upon compassion and dignity. Yet now, and it needs to be said, we've got an immigration minister tweeting deport, deport, deport. And now this policy announcement, which I'm afraid scrapes the bottom of the barrel. If we're being frank, isn't this just a desperate attempt to triangulate with reform? And like some of the other terrible policy errors that have been made in recent months, isn't it not only morally wrong, but another policy which is set to push away Labour voters? Why not recognise that now than in a few months and make a U-turn?
Home Secretary.
I would really caution my honourable friend not to defend a broken status quo. He should also know that it is foreign national offenders that are deported from this country, and I would hope he could agree that foreign national offenders should be deported from this country. We should not be keeping convicted criminals in our nation a day longer than is absolutely necessary. And I just say to him, the thing that's morally wrong is knowing that you have a broken system and then pretending either that it's not broken or defending a broken status quo. I will never tolerate that. And I have to say to him, as I've said to other members opposite today as well, I do not care for what other parties are saying on these matters or what other politicians have to say either. I have thought first and foremost of my moral responsibility to the people of this country as I fulfil my duty as Home Secretary. I have a series of reforms here that are underpinned by the values of the Labour Party and the values of the British people. They are fairness and they are contribution. I hope he will reflect on that as he reads up on the detail of these reforms.
It's crazy to see how many wet wipes we've actually got with inside the House of Commons. This is like a small, minor step in the right direction, and they're in sort of a meltdown over it. They just want open border policy, and it's glorious to see their tears. I do not really stand with Labour whatsoever, just to make that pretty clear. I don't think this is enough. I think there's a lot more that needs to be done, but I am a sucker for Liberal tears, so forgive me. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.